everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Gethin Jones had always prided himself on his ability to stay calm in the most awkward of situations. A natural mediator, he'd often step in when tensions flared, smoothing things over with a well-timed joke or a carefully chosen word. But today, as he stood in line at the local supermarket, he found himself facing a moment that was more than just uncomfortable, it was borderline unbearable. It had been an ordinary afternoon, the sun streaming through the windows and casting light across the polished floors of the store. People milled about, lost in their shopping lists or caught in the mundane task of selecting fruit. Gethin, however, was distracted by an unusual scene unfolding at the checkout. A woman in front of him, probably in her early 30s, was attempting to pay for a cartload of groceries. She was flustered, rummaging through her purse, her face flushed with a growing sense of panic. The cashier, a young man with a tight-lipped expression, glanced at her items and then back at the register. He repeated the price total. The woman tried again to swipe a credit card, nothing, then another, nothing again. Gethin could sense the tension mounting. He watched the woman's eyes flicker toward the growing line behind her, each person clearly growing more impatient. The cashier's look didn't help, his eyes narrowed with barely concealed frustration. Gethin could hear the cashier's voice just above a whisper, "It's not working, you'll have to find another card, or I'll need to ask you to leave some items behind." At that moment, Gethin's stomach dropped. The woman's shoulders slumped as she placed her hands on the counter, her breathing quickening, a look of mortification crossing her face. A tear slid down her cheek, though she quickly wiped it away. Her voice cracked as she said, "I don't have another card, this should be the one." The cashier's expression remained unchanged. The growing line of customers behind her began to shuffle restlessly, their quiet murmurs cutting through the air. Gethin could sense the collective impatience building, but there was something in the way the woman looked defeated that gnawed at him. Without thinking, he stepped forward, his shoes clicking against the tile floor. "Excuse me," Gethin said, addressing the cashier, his tone firm but gentle. "Could I speak to you for a moment?" The cashier looked up, visibly irritated. "I'm in the middle of something." "I understand that," Gethin replied, his voice calm. "But I think this needs to be addressed. There's no need to make this woman feel any worse. She's obviously struggling, and we don't need to add to the pressure." The cashier frowned, then glanced back at the woman, still standing there with her hand on the counter, her gaze downcast. A few seconds of silence passed before the young man huffed. "It's not my fault if her card's not working. She should have made sure she had the right one before coming here." Gethin shook his head. "That's not the point, is it? You've done your job, it's not about blame now. This isn't just about the transaction, it's about how we treat each other." The cashier hesitated. Gethin's calm, measured approach seemed to disarm him. Slowly, the cashier looked back at the woman, still sniffling quietly. The line behind them was growing impatient, but Gethin's words hung in the air. After a long pause, the cashier finally spoke again. "All right," he said reluctantly. "I'll let her try the card again. But if it doesn't work, she'll need to leave some items." Gethin nodded, stepping back to allow the woman some space. She hesitated, but then tried the card once more. This time, it went through. A wave of relief swept over her face. She quickly gathered her bags and muttered a quiet thank you to the cashier, her cheeks still flushed with embarrassment. But Gethin wasn't done yet. As she began to walk away, he caught her arm gently. "Hey," he said softly, "don't let this moment define you. We all have our struggles. You're doing the best you can." She looked at him, a surprised but grateful smile forming on her lips. "Thank you," she said, her voice stronger now. "I appreciate that." Gethin watched her leave the store, feeling a small sense of satisfaction. Maybe it was just a small act, a moment of stepping in when things seemed difficult. But in that simple act of kindness, he hoped it had made all the difference. Sometimes he thought, We just need someone to remind us that things are not as bad as they seem, and that we're not alone. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Netflix World 24 YouTube channel for more update news.